And we are off. What is up, everybody? How is everyone doing? I see we had over almost 200 people in the chat before 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I see folks are not running on CP time, or if you remember from back a couple sessions, Underground Railroad time. I'm not going to talk about that. I see Keisha, what's up? Carla Friday, what's going on? Keisha Jones Smith, Mariana, everybody, like everybody's in the house. I really appreciate you guys coming out again tonight. The growth has been incredible on this. I want to say a couple things right from the gate is that honestly, I look forward to Mentor Mondays as like the highlight of my week. Like no matter what I know is coming in the week or what's coming in that particular day, I look forward to this because it's about good vibes. Like you see us kicking back. We've got, I've got my Red Stripe. I just want to note this is, and Red Stripe is not an official sponsor, but we would love Red Stripe to come on as an official sponsor and just like bless everyone with Red Stripes. But I'm going to say this about Red Stripe is I have three red stripes that I plan to drink in this session because that's how great this session is going to be. So it's good vibes, it's good people, right? Good people in terms of you guys, right? The value that the community brings is incredible. And then last but not least, we have great information. Really, when I say good information, but it's great information, always great guests or great mentors. And tonight is no different. We're going to wait a little bit before we bring on the guest tonight, but the guest tonight, bottom line, everyone knows it's Marshawn Evans. She is truly, truly incredible. And I know that people like to throw around the word incredible or amazing, but she really is. And the importance of tonight, in my opinion, is this, is everyone that's watching this, right? Everyone that's in the chat right now, we are all risk takers or mavericks or entrepreneurs. And what I've noticed about folks like us is we tend to have great ideas. But then what happens when you have to communicate that idea out, right? Sometimes there's issues. And I always say that we are really CTOs, right? We're CEOs also, Chief Executive Officers, but we're also CEOs, which in my opinion, I'm sorry, CTOs, which in my opinion is a Chief Talking Officer, right? If you can't convey and communicate your idea effectively, then you cannot execute, right? And so tonight, in essence, is going to be about that. And what I've done is I went back and I looked at all previous 9 sessions. And that's right, we've had 9 sessions behind us. This is our 10th session already. And what I noticed in those sessions is that a lot of great information was shared, but we didn't really dig deep into any one particular topic. And we also didn't leave you with strong bits of practical information. So tonight, I want to change things a little bit. We only have one guest, it's Marshawn. We're going to have her on for the entire show. That's going to allow you to ask more questions. It's going to allow me to ask more questions. It's going to allow us to play around with her a little bit, right? Um, but what it will also allow is for everyone to walk away with practical information. And what I want to do is structure this a little bit. And Marshawn didn't know this ahead of time. This shows you how great she is. She's like, just ask me anything. Is I want us to really focus on two things tonight with Marshawn, okay? And I believe these two things will help every one of us. So one is I want to really focus on how can we become more effective in our communication? Because this is something that she does well. And I have a story I want to tell about her where I saw her do this live. So I want to talk about how we can become more effective, right? Get our ideas across effectively. That's one. And then secondly is I want to get into how we make money. How do we make money public speaking? Because I know there are a lot of people making a lot of money public speaking. And I can tell you that, and this is partly due to a conversation I had with Marshawn, is I've actually started making what I consider to be, pretty good income public speaking. And I think this is something that everyone has an opportunity to do. So we want to find out from her, well, how do we do it, right? How do we make money? What do we charge? How do we get out there, right? So those are going to be our two focus areas. Now, before we really get hot, and I've got notes here, so I make sure that I get everything. I want to say a couple things, right? One is that we have a new Mentor Monday correspondent, and it is Michelle Talbert. So everybody say what's up to Michelle. And here's the thing: is Michelle, her job as the Mentor Monday correspondent is she recaps. So she basically builds a transcript. Everybody saying what's up. She builds a transcript of what we say, what we do, and then we'll publish that on the paulcbrunson.com site. Now, Be kind to Michelle because Michelle could write very good things about you. And we are getting like our views, I think, are up to nearly 500,000 per month that we're on track for right now. And so we get lots of traffic on the site. So be very kind to Michelle. Be very, very kind, right? Next up, everybody sees the Blogalicious, right? You see the Blogalicious up. This is our partner for today's session. And it's awesome because I don't think the folks at Blogalicious know this, but when I was like studying the game of blogging and studying the game of social media, I used to follow Blogalicious. I used to basically uh, pull up any bit of video, YouTube video, any footage. Great, great group. Stacy Ferguson, who's the organizer of the Blogalicious weekend, really in November, she is being very gracious and really giving us a free all access pass that we can give away to someone in the Mentor Monday community. Big stuff, right? Shout out Stacy Ferguson, Justice Ferguson. Really is her handle. Shout out, much appreciated, right? What you have to do is click on this link here, and it'll take you to a raffle. And what we'll do on our next session, which is our February 10th session of Mentor Monday, we will be giving away one all access pass thanks to Be Blogalicious and Justice Fergie. We appreciate that. Make sure you follow her on Twitter. So those are kind of the big announcements. But there's another announcement I want to make, right? And this is from a Mentor Monday community member named LaDonna. This is what I want to say. Anytime you have an idea that you think can be helpful to the Mentor Monday community, let me know, let Ella know. Ella Rucker, right, who's one of our producers, and we will get right back to you. So LaDonna had this great idea. Her idea is, Paul, hey, Mentor Monday is growing, the chat room is growing, it's going so fast, I can't even keep track of everything. Lots of good information is shared, but I really want to be able to connect with everybody here. How do I connect in real time? We thought about it, idea, Mentor Monday Mastermind. That's right. Mentor Monday Mastermind that will take place in cities, not just all across the United States, but cities all around the world, because we have great viewership in the UK, we have great viewership in Jamaica. So we are going to start these mastermind groups, right? Everyone's saying, awesome, I love it. That allows everyone to connect. So let's say you live in Austin, Texas, and you want to connect with the folks that watch Mentor Monday in Austin, Texas, you can get together there. You live in New York, you want to get together, you can get together there, right? And then on top of that, we are going to figure out how we can all then get together across all the cities in person, right? And you can have a dance competition directly with me, right? You don't think I forgot about that. You guys thought I was getting served on the dance competition. Don't think I forgot about that. But we can all get together at the end of the year. So this is because of LaDonna. So shout out LaDonna. Great idea. If you are interested in brainstorming with us on the Mentor Monday Mastermind. If you are interested in helping to lead the group in your city or in your state, if we do it just statewide, go to the forum section, right? Go to the forum section. Let us know. Ella, just put it up right there on the screen. Make sure you go right here. How do I do this right? Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. What finger? I can't even do it. It's like, all right, I had too much to drink already. So here's the deal. Just go there, right? Go to the link and bottom line, tell us what you think, what ideas you have, but also if you're interested in leading. And then what we'll do is over the course of the next 2 weeks, we'll come up with the idea and we'll kick off the first masterminds. So those are kind of our big announcements. So one more thing before, like one more set of announcement, right, before we get going with Marshawn, is the rules. All right, everybody knows about the rules, right? Here are the rules, real quick and simple again. First is we are going to allow for more video questions in this session. So if you come on screen, make sure you have one of these, a headset, okay? Secondly is make sure that you have just one question and it's succinct. Boom, right to the point, right? Make sure you have a drink in your hand. Make sure your background is organized or I will talk about your background, right? I'm gonna do it, all right? So just make sure it's organized, right? So fellas, if you gotta make up your bed, make up your bed, all right? Ladies, I know a lot of ladies in the past, they like to string out like lights in there. I've seen a lot of lights from when the ladies ask questions. String out your lights, like get everything fresh, get everything ready, okay? And then next up, is we've had lots of like video freezing issues. Here's the best way to resolve that. Close all your windows. Okay? Close all your windows but the window that we have open right now when you're asking your question, and that will help with your bandwidth. The other is that if you are in the chat and the chat freezes, wait, hold on for a second. Desiree said that was for Christmas. No, Desiree. When I saw folks stringing lights, a lot of ladies stringing lights, and it was not just about Christmas. I think that was about something. In my opinion, I think that was something about something else. Because folks know I'm a matchmaker, so they come on, they try to get sexy. Exactly. Someone said mood lighting. Jeanette said mood lighting. That's exactly what it is. We know our boy. No, actually, I'm not going to talk about him yet. So going back to the point of the matter is that if your chat freezes, right? If you see the chat freeze, best thing you can do is refresh. If you refresh, about 90% of the time it'll work. You'll come right back in. And if it continues to freeze on you, don't worry because the replay will play fluidly, right? It'll be flawless. So just some quick tips there. All right, so it's 10:13, and we are going to get ready to bring on our guest. Now, Ashraf, don't bring her on yet, okay? Don't bring Marshawn on yet, but get her ready because I want to give a proper introduction to. Actually, this is what I want to do. Ashraf, bring Marshawn on, but Marshawn, you can't say anything because I want to give you a proper introduction, but I want to get your reaction so everyone could see how you react to this introduction because this is a very, very, very important person I'm bringing on. Actually, when we started Mentor Monday, I knew immediately I knew Marshawn would be a great guest, but we weren't ready, right? As a community, we weren't ready. There were some things we had to work out, some kinks we had to work out, but we are ready now. We're at Marshawn Evans level in terms of readiness. So Ashraf, if you could bring Marshawn on, okay? Now here I'm gonna give a proper introduction. All right. But can you hear me?
You said
Okay,
don't
she can
say
hear me.
anything, so
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
All right, all right. So everyone, here's what I want everybody to do. That's right. Desiree. I'm gonna bring you in the intro. You begged me. You did beg me for Marshawn. So here's the thing. First, everyone say hi to Marshawn. Okay. We're going to do a proper Mentor Monday welcome. Okay. We're gonna do a proper. So everybody say hi. Everyone's like hi, girl. Hi, Marshawn. Okay. Everyone say hi. All right. So here's my welcome to Marshawn. So Marshawn, you can hear me clearly, right?
I can hear you very
Thumbs up.
clearly, brother.
Okay. All right. So here's how I want to begin. So what happened is back in 2010, I was in Miami and I was doing my flow dating thing. I was just doing my thing, my mentor Monday-ish kind of modern day matchmaker thing. And I had the music playing like this. It was real smooth, laid out music like this. And I looked up, I looked in the doorway and I saw this light. This light was glowing. I saw the silhouette in the light. I saw the silhouette in the light, perfect silhouette in the light. And I looked up and I said, is that? No, 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 that can't be. But is that? No, I don't know if that is. And then I looked again, and guess what? She was gone. And I went to my wife because my wife was there while I was doing my floating thing. And I said, Jill, was that who I thought it was at the door? And you know what Jill said? Jill said, that's right, Paul, that's right, baby. That was Marshawn Evans. She was here, and she wanted you to have this information in this book. And she said to get in contact with her. And I said, oh. No, here's the thing. I can keep going on. But here's the thing. That's actually a real
Oh,
story. Like, that is real. The first time I ever met Marshawn was at a Black Enterprise event. It was right? And you stopped by, and quite honestly, literally looked up. I recall looking at you, and I thought, oh my God, is that Marshawn from The Apprentice? Right, that's here. And then later, I talked to my wife, and she said, yeah, that was her. And so we eventually connected. And this is the point, though. Conferences, right? Great for connecting. We continue to build a rapport, build our relationship. And one of the things that I want to just emphasize, and James Lopez said this on a Mentor Monday a few sessions ago, is Marshawn right from the gate was just, she basically said, Paul, what can I help you with? What can I do? Right? What can I offer up to you? She continually added value. And I was thinking, this is wow, this is crazy. And then I said, you know what, Marshawn, there's something that you could do. I'm doing an event down in Dallas. I'm doing it. It's complicated. I love to see if you could, maybe host it. I didn't think that she would do it. Not only did she host this event, but just real talk, Marshawn, it was the best opening for a Mentor Monday. I'm sorry, for a It's Complicated that I have ever seen. And it just really showed me that not only, do you talk a good game? That's right. That's right. Not only do you talk a good game, but you walk like you instantly grab the rapport of the audience, and it was incredible. And so, long story short, to have you here with the community, I think is going to be incredible. I truly do adore you, like love you, like sister, love you, love you, love you, and
Back
welcome,
at you.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I remember Florida. I just forgot. I didn't remember the music. You brought me back.
Yes, it's all about the It's all
That was
about the
pretty
music.
awesome. No, I want to thank you for having me. And you have a really great spirit. And I have a story that I also want to tell you about just right before you asked me to come to Dallas. But you have a great spirit, and I believe in what you're doing. So, as all of these people as my witness, I'm going to always support you in what you're doing. As long as you stay out of trouble and out of jail, then, I'm always going to be here. But what's important is that we have to support each other more, and um, we got to do it the right way. It can't just be a handout. It's really got to be helping hands so that you've got to sow good deposits in people so that you have a right to ask for help. A lot of times we just don't do that. But even just coming from the right place of we're here to be a blessing to others. And when you do that, the world opens up to you more anyway.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
know
Look at
that's a
that.
little too
Let's.
serious for
No, no,
Mentor
no,
Monday.
no. Well, all right. I tell you what. Here's what we can do. No, it's not too serious. But let me ask you: are you drinking anything, Marshawn?
I am.
Okay.
I don't know
What
if
do
you're
we have?
ready for this, but of course, I'm a branding expert. So if I'm coming on to a show, I have my Me University mug. But if you can see, there's some things floating in the bottom. This is actually water because I'm usually close to in bed at this time. But I have ginger, fresh ginger root in my water, and I started doing this as a speaker so I wouldn't pass out on stage because I was on stage for like 10 hours when I do my own events. My conferences are that intense. So ginger would keep me up. So now I do this pretty much every day to keep
Every day.
my energy up.
Interesting. You know what? Is it ginger? I also heard something about bananas and lubricate, like it lubricate, like I'm gonna keep it clean, but really like it lubricates your mouth. So no, no, I'm serious. No, no, no. This is no real talk. I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm saying I
Girl,
heard that when you
this
eat.
just did not come. It's not working right, Paul.
No, no, but no, no, but this is the truth. This real question is
Okay.
that the truth? Because I know that a lot of people when they speak, their mouth will get dry. And I
Mhm.
heard, have you heard anything like that before or no?
So I can't take this is probably way too much information, and I'm not sure why I'm saying this. Maybe I had some of your red stripe and didn't realize it, but I can't do bananas. They make me poot. So I would never do that before going on stage because
Okay.
it's just not good for anything else. So maybe it works well. Now you said that I was told this was a laid back environment. Everyone thinks I'm so serious, but it's the that no.
This
Mm-mm.
is this is laid
No
back. I brought
bananas.
I brought three red stripes for you tonight. I've never done broken out three. Only two, I think, before. She said,
Paul, I
okay.
got something
All
I
right.
got to say
So here.
really quickly. I got to say something really quickly, really, really quickly, really quickly. So
Okay.
when I met you first, you came to the ATL. You came to Atlanta. You were doing It's Complicated, and I hadn't met you in person. We'd become Twitter brother and sister.
Right.
And I was like, I wanted just to come out to support and meet you. And if you remember, I talked to you about like a marketing strategy of how to get a few more people in the room a couple of days before the event.
Yes.
Well, that
Yes.
strategy was we have a mutual friend in Jay Stone,
Right. Absolutely.
and
Shout out.
she
Jay may be on, I
shout
believe.
out
I
to
think
Jay.
she
She
could be
might be
on.
on.
Yeah.
Okay, so hi Jay. So Jay had an extra ticket because you gifted some extra tickets, and she invited someone to attend. And I ended up sitting next to the person she invited, and that person put a ring on my finger
Oh, oh, wow. Hold on for a
a
second.
few months ago. I know. So the funny thing is like full circle. Yeah, I know you didn't know this, but where else to better break that news of how we
Hold,
actually
okay,
met. We met at
hold on,
your event.
hold on.
I know
That's
you
too
weren't
much.
ready.
I'm not ready. We were not ready. We were not ready. First, first thing first, throw that diamond up one more time. That was ridiculous. Throw that up. Whoa, whoa. Okay, okay. I'm not mad. I am I am not mad at that. Job well done.
But you know what?
That's
He's
first.
a good man. His name is Jack A. Daniels. I know you met him that night
Jack
as well.
Daniels?
Jack
Jack
Daniels.
Daniels? The Jack Daniels?
Yes. The Jack Daniels,
This
relationship
is
guy like you.
this
And he's the one who's always saying Paul has a good spirit. So
Jack. Wow. This is all now. This is really cool. This is really
Paul's
cool.
at a
Like
loss for
I
words.
get it. I see it. And I was on a Spreecast with him not too long ago. Uh, and we were supposed to connect afterwards. But long story short is, great guy.
Praise the Lord. Amen.
Congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Thank
This is
you.
awesome. Like, and you know what? This is the thing too. Is well, one is I'm drinking five of these now. I'm drinking five of these for you tonight. But
I can't hear what he's
this is
saying.
what's
I just
awesome
heard
is
saying
that you see the
congratulations.
events that we that we put on is
Oh,
what it
let's.
does is it allows people to connect in real time. And I think that the biggest problem. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Can I hear on this?
Can you hear me okay? Oh no,
Hold on
we've
one second.
lost
Leading to
Marshawn.
the rescue.
Oh,
It's breaking. Oh wait, now I hear you. Now I hear you back. I hear you
okay.
back clear.
All right.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think you're coming back. I think you're coming
Okay,
back.
I'm back.
All right, cool. So what happens with what happens at these events is it brings people together, right? In real time.
Yeah.
And the problem that we have with regard to dating is that we're just not dating anymore. We're physically not seeing each other. You know, the average single in the United States has not been on one date in the last 2 years, right? And it's namely because as we get older, social circles shrink. So long story short,
Mhm.
these events have been wonderful, and to know that
Mhm.
you guys got together at one of my it's
He sat
complicated
next to me
events.
because he's not on the show this time. He can't tell his version of it, and we'll do a whole other, but listen, he sat next to me. He says I sat next to him. But the reality is, you hosted an event where I met an amazing man. And what's also
Awesome.
been really interesting for me as a business owner and as a speaker, and I'm doing all these events, and I'm really big into social media. When I did like a recap of 2013, you know how they have those flipgrams and they do like your whole life of the year in like 15 seconds for Instagram. The number
Right.
one posts were not about branding, not about business, not about helping people to launch their dreams and make more money, which is, I know, my calling. But the number one posts were about being a woman, getting engaged. And it really just shows me that, even as we build blessed lives and in the marketplace, that what really matters and what we all really want is to matter to somebody who really is appointed to us. And I think for all the ladies who are listening, that because for me, I really and to a certain extent, I'm a very private person with my private life, but I've chosen to be more verbal and more public because I think that we're blessed to be a blessing, and that it's important for people to see possibility. And even for
Absolutely.
professional women, women who want to run the world, they want to do it with somebody who is still their spiritual and emotional equal in that process. And so, yeah, so I just wanted, I know we're supposed to be talking about speaking and business and money and
Sure.
all those things, but
No, no, this is good.
that's the most
This is
important
good.
thing that's happened to me in
This
the last year.
no, this is awesome. I mean, this is all a part of it. You know, this is about you, and this is about you being your authentic self. You know, and that's you being your authentic self. So congratulations, really, once again.
Okay,
Um,
well, thank you.
yes, yes. So let's do this. Let's get everyone caught up, if you will, on kind of your history, because what I was shocked at least when we talked, is that you've been actually in the public eye for quite some time, going back to being a little girl, right? So can you walk us back to the beginning of Marshawn Evans, right? The brand, and then all the way back to current day. So just give us a quick recap of, the highlight reel of the Marshawn Evans life.
Sure. So, well, I live in Atlanta, Georgia now, and today I run a company called Me Unlimited, and we created a program a few years ago called Me University, where we help everyday aspiring and established life changers to change the lives of other people through branding, teach them how to speak, make money, and through faith and enrichment. And I want to say that because I'm going to give you kind of some of the background of getting to that point. But today, in the last 16 months, we did $1.2 million through speaking, but that's not how it all started. For me as a speaker, I really got started competing in the Miss America pageant. And actually, I'll go a little bit further back than that. I was in high school and I had this opportunity to do this leadership program helping other kids make good decisions. And for me at 15, 16 years old, that was really the first chance where I realized that I like helping people. And it's a good thing to awaken that early, but it's not always properly developed because it's not popular. And what I find in now
Sure.
working with people who want to be entrepreneurs, sometimes we have trouble listening to ourselves because we've never really been celebrated in our true, authentic self and our true gifts. And it wasn't popular, you didn't fit in. So if you were one of those kids that didn't fit in school or I definitely didn't. But one of the things I was passionate about early for some reason is I was always in other people's business and I just cared
Yes.
about people. So I started this youth nonprofit organization when I was a teenager called America Can, America's Children Achieving Now. I had the opportunity to compete in the Miss America system as a teenager, and then I competed at Miss America. And I really, when I think about that, a lot of times people say, oh, well, Marshawn, you're different because you had these great opportunities. But I always
Right.
like to say, I appreciate the sacrifices that my parents made to enable me to do what I'm doing. My dad didn't go to college. I didn't have any previous lawyers in my background that would have shown me how to get into a school like Georgetown and graduate debt free. But I recognize that I
Hoya
was blessed.
Saxa, baby. Hoya
Oh, yes,
Saxa.
Saxon. Yes, you
That's right.
are a Georgetown undercover. You don't tell a lot of people about it. We talked about that. We
No.
talked about that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the thing is, those experiences really helped to shape me early on. But I will tell people that, I work hard. I work hard. And nobody, it's like that
Oh
song
yeah.
in Mary Mary, they don't, um, people don't see you when you're on your knees. They don't see you when you are sacrificing and giving up things. I didn't get to hang out with friends a lot growing up because I was a competitive baton twirler. So I was always in practice 3 to 4 hours a day after school, on top of having to do homework every single day with competitions on the
Wow.
weekend. So when you say I've been this a long time, I've been in the performance world for a long time and a disciplined life for a very long time. But the danger of that, as I've been learning, Jack, my fiance, he's a psychotherapist, which is an interesting process. Um,
Good
but
luck
one of
with
the,
that.
yeah,
Good luck.
it's a really perfect match in a lot of ways. But one thing that I'm learning, especially as women, is we can grow up learning how to smile and not laugh.
Oh wow.
That you can be really good at performing, really good at doing things and working hard, but not learning how to enjoy the process. So I would say I've been a very disciplined person. I think that this season of my life, with the business that I have, the way that I help people, if I wanted to be in a business where I just did it just to make money, then I would have stayed at the law firm in an environment that I didn't like, where I was definitely
Sure.
not a fit. So I think right
Sure.
now, I've been at Miss America, I was on The Apprentice. But the thing that's most important to me is definitely my faith, and that I am a good person to my family, and that I am walking in my divine purpose and showing people how to do that in a way that's profitable in the marketplace. So it's been an interesting
Love
journey
it.
to get there, but that's who I
Love it.
am. That's kind of like the big picture journey.
Yeah. So one question before we dig into the public speaking
Yeah.
aspect is, you mentioned this season in your life, and to me it sounded as if when you were an attorney, right, perhaps that wasn't necessarily you walking in faith, or you walking in purpose, or stepping out on faith. So what was it, or what happened in your life or in your mind, right, that helped you transcend or really pivot from from one direction in your life to walking in purpose?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of celebration in this world of accomplishment. There's very few there's very few opportunities to understand what true alignment is. What does it mean to be in alignment with your ultimate gifts? What does it mean to be who God's really called you to be? What does it mean to be more than your job, more than your career, more than an opportunity? And what I think is that most of us choose careers based off of fear because we want to choose a job that will make us safe. So even for me to go to Georgetown Law School, great law school, $150,000 education that I'm very proud of. Proud to be a chocolate girl that graduated from there. Um,
Yes.
debt free, debt free, all
Oh,
scholarships, no loans, no loans. I'm a money hunter. I go after money. I think the same process of pitching gets you every is the same process for scholarships as other opportunities. But um, if looking back at it now that I coach people, I can see this much easier. So much of the careers that we build and the success temples that we build for ourselves are based off of fears that we don't want to be um, ridiculed. How many people wanted to major in something, but their parents said, don't do that because you got to get a good job and you'll never be able to get a job with that. And so what do? We
right,
go when we find something that is safe, something that will be celebrated, something that other people will say, ooh, she's an attorney. But what if, because this took me in 2012, and this is honestly where my income went up and that I was really entering. I mean, I experienced success a lot in my life, but experiencing significance is a totally different dimension. And it was when I stopped introducing myself as an attorney, because I wasn't even practicing anymore, but I was really afraid that if I didn't say that, that someone wouldn't receive me as important enough to have a conversation with.
right.
And when I said,
I know.
I'm a speaker, I was like, what? How do you? What is that? But that's where everything
Right.
shifted for me. So I think the shift is going from accomplishment to assignment, going to alignment with
Wow.
your ultimate assignment. And to me, that's what I'm really seeking to do is to help pull people into their true assignment of who they are, because we have too much depression. And I think part of the
Right.
reason why we have so many people who are single is because, if I can just be honest for a minute,
Please, please.
I think
Uh-oh.
part of the
Everyone get
reason
ready.
I
Get ready.
got
Take a sip.
okay,
Hold
tell
on,
what you
Marshawn.
say. Yeah.
Let everyone take a sip. Whatever you're drinking, take a sip. Let's take a sip real quick. We're about to get hit real hard.
I'm gonna take one myself.
Okay.
Um,
Everyone
I
ready? Okay.
believe
We're ready.
that part of the reason why so many people are single is, you people ask God, send me my mate, send me my mate, send me the man, God, that you have for me. Why would God send you what you need if you're not living His will? I'm not saying you're bad. I'm not saying you're sinning. But part of the thing that I believe is
Oh,
important is if you're in purpose, it's like in The Alchemist. It says that when someone is operating in the flow of where they're supposed to be going, then the whole universe conspires to give you what you need.
just
But if you're
conspire.
not where you're
Absolutely.
going in a direction of where you're supposed to be going, why would you get the helpmate? Because you don't need any help to do you. But like if you're gonna do like the master plan, then yeah, he's going to send you help. He's going to send you resources. He's going to send, like, I sent you an email saying, Paul, hey, here's how you get some more people in your seminar. And then all of a sudden, I sit next to the person that's now I'm going to be marrying.
I tell you
I had
what.
prayed the year before. I said, God, I want to grow this business to a 7-figure business. I'm this close to being able to do it, but I don't want to do it by myself. And I don't want to do it and scare away a man. And I know a lot of women feel that way. And I
Sure.
got to a point where I said, you know what? I can't deal with that. I got to be me. I was born to be like this big, shining, rich woman. That's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And the man who's with me is going to have
Mm-hmm.
to get that and understand that. And then he sends that. He not only sent the man, but he sends opportunity. He sends teammates. He sends technology. He sends software. He sends opportunities. He sends exactly what you need when you need it. And no, a lot of people talk about being in purpose if you want a purpose oriented life and you want your mate to be in alignment with your purpose. And I think more, that's just my theory. That's my theory.
Wow. I
I
tell
ain't
you
saying
what,
nothing, y'all.
I I just sat, I felt like I was in church. That's why I was scared to pick up my red stripe because I thought I was in church. And if I picked up my red stripe, lightning would just kind of hit me. So let me drink real quick before I go back to church.
Drinking duck. Drinking duck.
Oh, oh, oh. Okay. All right. So, but you know what? Quite honestly, the gospel. What you just said is the gospel. Um, let's switch gears to let's laser focus on speaking, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I want to do this is I knew that we could have you on as a guest every month, right? We could talk about various pieces, but speaking in particular, I think is important because at the outset I was talking about how, at least my observation, I'd love to get your opinion, is that a lot of us entrepreneurs are not effective communicators,
Hmm.
right? And before you can even think about getting paid to stand on stage and talk about your ideas or whatever it may be, you really need to hone the basics of effective communication. And I'd love for you to talk about, well, A, what's your observation around that? Do you agree with that? Do you disagree? And then also, how do we become effective communicators?
That's a great point. So one, yes, you're absolutely right that effective communication is paramount. My very first company where I had to like pay taxes and made enough money where the government was going to be paying attention. It's actually the company that helped me pay my way through law school. Um, was called Communication Counts. And I was coaching, didn't really understand what coaching was. I just looked at it as consulting. I was working with other Miss America and Miss USA contestants on public speaking. I had won the interview competition at Miss America, and it was a pretty big deal because it was the first time they had a interview award given in 80-year history of the pageant. And so then all these women from around the country were like, can you help me as well? And I studied for years interview tapes. I taught myself how to present myself well. Now I got
Wow.
this brown skin. Growing up in Texas, competing in the Miss America system, there weren't a lot of Black women who competed and did well in the pageant system. So I knew that I had to work a lot harder. I had to be better than other people to be taken seriously and to be taken intelligently. And so that was something that my parents definitely always emphasized, even though they may not have had some of the same opportunities. They try to put us in environments, but what they taught me was to be uncomfortable and learn and master communication, both written, because that is incredibly important. We just opened up just for 4 days an opportunity for people to apply for an executive position, assistant position with our company. We had over 100 people apply in 4 days. And I can't tell you how many typos and
Wow.
errors and people, just stupid stuff, like basic stuff. That's part of communication. And then when it comes to speaking and mastering the written word, people who speak well make more. They're remembered more. They have a legacy.
Sure.
And the Bible even talks, I'm a little, I'm a churchy. Well, I'm not really churchy. I just love the word. I just love God. I really do. And one of the things that I see is that, the Bible says, write the vision down, make it plain so that a herald can run with it. And I think that part of being able to speak and really powerfully is to almost speak, people hear it as though they were reading a book, as though it were
Wow.
multidimensional. But the part of where someone has to run with it is really, you have to be able to speak in such a way that people remember the essence of who you are. They won't remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. And if they remember how you make them feel, then they're going to want to run with it. They're going to tell other people. And then you don't have to market. You don't have to work as hard. And I think that our voice is the one thing that we have most in common with God, because if, my faith
Wow.
is that God used his voice to create the world, to create something out of nothing. And I get so frustrated as a coach with people who say, I can't do this or I can't afford that. If they only understood how powerful their words are and how they sell themselves short with their words. And
Sure.
then they want to be a speaker, but then they say who they are not and what they cannot do and live in excuses. Excuses live at the tip of the tongue. So it's really challenging to be a speaker, to motivate other people if you live in a place of excuse. So, I look at, yes, communication is important, but I think it's also a different mindset about recognizing not that it's a powerful skill, but it's the essence of who you are. You were born to be
Who
able
you
to
are.
create everything that you have using your voice.
Have it. So what tips do you have to the community? Because I agree, everything begins with mindset. So what tips do you have for us to place ourselves in the right mindset to be able to go out and effectively communicate?
Well, let's see. I have quite a few things. I think the number one, I would say you have to start before you're ready. I teach this a lot at Me University, at our live events, in our coaching programs, our mastermind programs. You have to start before you're ready. And ready is a myth. There is no such thing as ready. There's no such thing as ready.
Amen. Amen.
And you don't get to choose when you're ready. And again, I look at every person in the Bible, I look at you, I look at people that I admire and respect, you know, they weren't necessarily ready, but it happened and you look back and you're like, I guess I was more ready than I thought I was. And
Right.
women, we struggle with this even more so than men because we're taught that we have to be perfect in order to be accepted. We have to look a certain way, things have to be presented a certain way. So the number one mindset that will change the way you live your life and the income that you have is by starting before you're ready. And then I think the second thing is, and a lot of entrepreneurs suffer from the lonely leader syndrome. And you talked about being a maverick at the intro. I think being a maverick is
Yes.
dangerous. You cannot coach yourself. This is one of the major life lessons that I've learned is that you cannot coach yourself. And this is why
Wow.
most entrepreneurs stay stuck. This is why most entrepreneurs stay just looking online at free information is because look, if I wanted to be a lawyer, I had to find the money, invest in school, and I got an education because wisdom is really the
Right.
principal thing. But then I can't really, can I, is there's something wrong with thinking that we can teach ourselves everything we need to know. And there's something that's just slow about that. You know, yes, you can,
Okay.
but it'll take you forever. And for some reason, entrepreneurs really struggle with this right now of actually getting in front of somebody who can coach them and teach them and buying a mentor. This is the last thing I'm going to say. Buy a mentor. Don't
Buy a
just wait
mentor.
for someone
Wow.
to come
I've
and
never heard of
find
that
you.
term before. I've
Mhm.
never heard of that term. Buy a mentor.
Buy a mentor,
Interesting.
meaning hire them. Because here's the thing, if you're going into business, you probably want someone to hire you. But I teach on this thing I just came up with it called the law of congruency. And I find that it's very true. It's kind of like reaping and sowing, but here's the deal. If you want to have a business that's profitable, then you need people who invest in your products, your services, and hiring you as a speaker. But what you're telling the world and what you're telling the universe, if you will, is that, well, I want everything, but I'm not going to invest in anything else. But then you
Right.
expect to get what you won't do for yourself. And so many people do this. And so this is one of the things that I see that keeps most people stuck. They're full of possibility, full of
Right.
ideas,
I agree.
but
No,
the
I
bottom
agree.
line is hire a mentor. You can't give yourself a good haircut and you can't see the whole picture when you're inside of the frame.
Well, I tell you what, I do cut my own hair, but I don't have much of it.
The edge up in the
But
back
no,
though, that's the question. Is it tight? Right
yeah,
here, right here.
that's right. That's right. Well, I won't even show you because you're right. It's messed up. It's completely jacked up. But no, I like it. Start before you're ready, right? Buy a mentor, get in the right mindset, and then you'll be able to go out and be more effective in your communication.
Mhm.
Let's shift to making dollars to speak because
Yeah.
this is one of those things where I talked to you briefly about this because I was at a place where I was basically observing friends go out and make thousands of dollars
Mhm.
to speak. And I was never able to kind of bridge the non-paid speaking gigs pro bono to speaking. For those of us out here that literally want to make some dollars speaking, how do we go about doing
Well, I am so glad that you asked. Um, that's
that?
really what I coach on now. And
Okay.
I spoke for years as a traditional keynote speaker, doing multiple six figures in my 20s because I studied the industry and I
Wait,
scrapped.
I'm sorry. You said multiple six figures?
Yeah, in my 20s.
Oh, hold on. I'm not mad. I just got to go back, reverse, rewind. You said multiple six figures at what age?
In
Speaking?
my 20s. In my 20s, yeah.
In your 20s. Just speaking.
Just speaking. Just speaking. And what I learned
Okay.
early, I mean, I learned this when I was a teenager, is that you can always make money sharing what it is that you already know. Sometimes we make it too
Wow.
complicated. And part of the reason why we don't get started is because we don't think we have something that's important enough to share, something that people would pay for or is valuable enough. And the other reason is we don't know what to do. We don't know how to turn our ideas into income. And so between the space of idea and income, there's a process that it took me a long time to follow. And this is also why I say buy a mentor, buy somebody's experience so that you don't have to bump your knee. Why go through the car accident if you can avoid it? Like learn from somebody else's mistakes. And so one of the things in terms of turning your ideas into income is to recognize what is it that you know that people are looking for, that the marketplace is looking for. And now really is the best time because we're in this thing that people like to call a recession. I like to call it research. And meaning that a recession simply means that there's more needs, that people are more vocal about the challenges that they have. And those of us, I believe the entrepreneur community, those who are listening, we have what the marketplace needs. That's why there's more people feeling called into entrepreneurship, more people feeling this tug to do something different. It's because the world needs what only you have. So first thing is really another dimension of mindset of recognizing I have something to share. Let me get clear about that. And then the second piece is you got to turn it into an actual brand message. And I have a
Okay.
complimentary training that I want to share with people that they can go into and register for right now. It's a free coaching video series. It's called Launch Your
Love it.
Speaking Dreams. And you can go to launchyourspeakingdreams.com. The
Okay.
very first lesson gives you an assignment on how to come up with what your message is. And a lot of people, when I ask them, what is it that you want to speak on? They talk really big picture, but they're actually, most of us are more confused about who we are and how to package it. And you got to know what your gifts are. And I know my gift is helping people get crystal clear about not just their message, but their money message. And money message
Okay.
in that, what is the message that is who you are, what you're called, and what you're gifted to be able to share, and also how to package it in a way that is profitable. They have to go together.
Okay.
And so you need to understand what you have. You need to put it into a brand. And then you've got to learn the business of speaking. And this is also where people make a mistake. They just expect it to just happen.
Sure.
Anything happening since we've been on the call?
Yep.
We just,
Nothing. Nothing.
right?
Yeah.
And then part of that is, well, God's going to do it. It's just going to happen. But look, life is not a lottery ticket. You've got to put yourself out there, but you got to put it out there the right way. And then you got to learn how to pitch. You've got to, I talk about, I have this event coming up in April called Speak for Pay. And one of the things I
Love it.
teach on and I talk about in this free coaching series, the Launch Your Speaking Dreams, is getting into the big four: colleges, conferences, corporations, and even churches, and how to have the
Okay.
right contracts, how to treat yourself like a business. Now, my sweetie's gonna laugh at me because I always do this Jay-Z quote, and I apparently don't do it the right way. But it's just, I'm a business
I
man,
was right, man. Nice.
one man
I love it.
businessman. Yeah.
Real
So it's
smooth. Real
it's
smooth.
thank you, thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. But it's that whole idea of we don't treat our gifts as a business, and then we wonder why we're struggling and wrestling when we haven't put the right infrastructure, like we're not incorporated, and we're not we don't look at ourselves as a product. So when I talk about how people get themselves in front of the big four, I do this thing called market mapping. We figure out, well, what if you want to speak in colleges, for example, which is a great market because those kids are in school 9 months out of the year, every single year, and it's the most recession
True.
proof market of all of the big four. Colleges are always
True.
bringing in thought leaders, and they want new people. You don't have to be a celebrity or entertainer. Part of the way that I
Wow.
was able to do multiple six figures is I spoke at over 100 colleges and universities. I knew how to build a
What, so how
brand.
much, I'm just curious, so how much would a college pay? So let's say for us entrepreneurs who have not spoken for pay, right?
Mhm.
And we get everything together, we get our package down, we get our pitch down. How much can we expect to make from colleges?
My very first booking at a college was at Florida State University, and I got $5,700 my first booking. Now I got to tell one piece of it. I was a replacement speaker for Jeff Johnson. I probably shouldn't tell what he was, but look,
Yeah, and Jeff
that's
is
where I was
awesome.
like,
Jeff
Jeff's
is awesome.
amazing. Jeff's cool, but
Yeah. One of the
um,
best orators, I will say this, Marshawn, Jeff is probably top four orators, that in terms of oratory skill that I've ever
yeah,
laid eyes on. Jeff Johnson.
he
Yeah.
is a master of the word, of his speaking. But that woke me up. I was like, wait a minute, for 45 minutes? And then I think I got there and only had to talk like 30. And I was talking to students about believing in themselves and just sharing what I already knew, right? What was already
Right.
in my heart. And that's really where I realized that this was a huge market. And yes, and then conferences, and I started speaking in corporations. And I also speak at a lot of churches. I've spoken at mom and pop churches, but I've also spoken at the Potter's House, Bishop T.D. Jakes' church. And
Wow.
been at Paula White's. And so I treat everything though like a business, and I have contracts. I send the churches a contract just like that. And that's a big mistake that a lot of people make is they don't know how to negotiate. They don't know how to package and position themselves to be a profitable speaker. And so the Launch Your Speaking
Gotcha.
Dreams is,
One
again, a
one
complimentary series. Go ahead.
one quick question. I'm just
Mhm.
curious. What's the most, if you can tell us, what's the most you've ever been paid for one speaking engagement?
Let me see. I'm wrestling with, do I tell this? Yes, I'm drinking
I'm,
ginger water.
I'm just curious. You do not have to
So
answer. This is just Paul after 3 beers. I'm curious. I'm just interested.
my highest single engagement has been at $15,000. And I always like to say, it's funny you say, wow. For me, that's pretty good. And for me, like, I'm at a range of what it's a top tier range. We talk at Speak for Pay about, and Speak for Pay is our big event. It's like a 4-day intensive boot camp on how to be a speaker. And
Okay.
I talk about how you get started. Now, I'm making 15,000 a speech on the front end, but I've had days where I've closed 6 figures in a single day. I've had days where I've
Right.
closed over
Because
300.
of the speaking.
Well, yeah, but over
Yeah.
$350,000 in 3 days
Right,
of
right.
speaking.
You know what,
Yes.
Marshawn? Here's what I want to do is it's crazy. We only have 7 minutes left. I mean, this is
Yeah.
crazy. I see Mike Street, who Mike is an incredible guy, by the way. We had gone back and
Say
forth
it
today
again.
on Facebook. I want to get this question answered, and then I want to
Oh,
see if we can pull on 2 or 3 quick folks. So if you have a video question, go ahead and queue up, and Ashraf is going to bring you on. Mike says, "Do I need a book to get paid as a public speaker?"
um, I think I heard is this Mike's question about, do I need a book to get paid as a
Marshawn,
public speaker?
did you get that? What Mike
Let
had
me
mentioned?
put that out. Okay. So I'm just going to talk because I can't quite hear it, but I see it up on the screen.
All right.
That's one of the most common questions that I get asked. Do I need a book first? Well, I believe you need an audience
Mike's
first, because
question
if
is
there's nothing
absolutely on
wrong
the
with having
screen.
a book, but it can be a waste of time if there's no one to buy it, right? So you need to build a community, you need to build a brand, you need to build a following, and you need that. It's okay to have a book because then you have a product. But this is one of the biggest traps. People get caught up in writing a book. They put all their life into a product that can only be sold for about $25 on the high end, versus really taking that time and effort to build a brand, to build a following, build a community and momentum so that you can get multiple bookings as a speaker.
Okay. All right. Very fair. All right, Ashraf, if we can have the next question, we can have them queue up right now. The next video question, if you could pull that person on so we can get some more stuff in here. Uh, so I tell you what, while Ashraf is bringing on the next person, just real quick, because I think we'll have to end quickly after these questions. Right now, Marshawn, if you could tell everyone where they can find you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in particular, where they can go to get more information about how to learn to publicly speak.
Okay. So thanks for asking that. So there's a couple of things that are going on. We're in like super busy, crazy mode right now. I mentioned the launchyourspeakingjreams.com. It's launchyourspeakingjreams.com.
Okay.
Free coaching program. Everyone's like, I can't. You know what? It's complimentary. You're going to learn a lot. Get your notepad out. The second thing is I'm going on tour. I'm going on an 8-city tour. I'm going to Canada this
Yes.
weekend, and I'll be in Dallas. I'll be in Buffalo, New York. I'll be in San Antonio, in Washington, D.C., in Baltimore, and Florida, and Miami. So come out and see me on tour. These are 4 to 5 hour seminars. They're only
Yes.
$45. And all of these things, the Launch
Good
Your
price.
Speaking Dreams, and also you can go to makemoneyspeakingtour.com. Maybe someone can throw that in the chat box for me,
Okay. Yep.
makemoneyspeakingtour.com. And someone just said, well, what about Houston? Look, I'm coming to Dallas. I'm coming to
Yes.
Texas.
And
Get in the
Dallas.
car,
Dallas. I see a
drive.
lot of Dallases.
Yeah, but
Yes.
drive. I tell people all the time,
Yes.
look, someone came to Atlanta the last time I did a tour from Chicago and drove, right? Like everything
All right.
can't always come to
That's
you.
right. If
Go
you
go
want it,
get
right,
it.
Marshawn, if you want it, go get it. If you want it, go get it, right? Get in the car,
Exactly.
go see Marshawn. All
Go
right.
get it. And then the
Ashraf,
last thing that I just
I
want to
think
say,
we might
last
have.
thing that the event itself, the big event that we're having is called Speak for Pay. And I did want to make a special offer for your group. If anybody registers for Speak for Pay tonight, I'm going to gift you with a complimentary one-on-one coaching session. And my coaching programs are
Wow.
$10,000 to $30,000. So if you go to speakforpay.com, you decide, you look at all the good stuff, you want to learn how to be a paid speaker, then I'm going to gift you with a complimentary coaching session. Only tonight, though. Only tonight,
Only
only
tonight.
if
Okay,
you're a
so
part
how
of
how
Speak for
long
Pay.
how long is the session? How long is
The
the session, the one-on-one session?
Oh, it'll be half an hour. It'll be a half hour session.
Oh, no, that's great. Half an hour?
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
Folks, get that. That is great. Like, go get that. I'm thinking about maybe I should do that
Oh,
too.
cool. I see people saying
Yeah.
they're,
Then I can
they're
then I can
registering.
get
Yeah,
my
come on
30
out.
minutes
Come
out.
on. Now that
That'd
is
be
for the
great.
Speak for Pay event. If you come to Speak for Pay, you can go to speakforpay.com. So, all righty, we got more questions.
All right. Yeah, so here's the thing is I think we lost Ashraf actually. Uh, who's our producer pulling on the folks to ask questions. Here's what we're gonna do. We only have 3 minutes, right? So if you have a question, Ella, if you could pull up one chat question, right? If you have a question, a written question, let's pull that up because we can't do the video right
I
now.
saw someone
And
ask a
then
question about
boom.
a coach. Like, should your coach believe in you? And I'm like, yes. Sometimes here's one mistake that people have when they're trying to find a coach is they try to find people who are successful. But everyone who's successful can't teach, and everyone who's successful is not passionate about teaching you. They might be passionate about taking your money, but you really need to
So
find a coach that
how do
is
you distinguish that?
gifted. Look at the
How do you
results.
distinguish?
Look at the
Okay.
results. I mean, for me, I look at this, I'm like, this isn't a hobby for me. I love working with people, and look at the proof, but also look at the fruit of a person's spirit. Like, use your discernment, use your intuition, use your wisdom. Don't be fooled by snake oil salesmen. There's a lot of them out there. And I think that I
True.
always say, look for someone who has similar values to you, who believes what you believe, who's passionate about people, not just interested, but passionate about people, and not just interested in money, but knows what they're doing. And someone who it just sinks right, and they've also been where it is that you want to go, and they can take you there. Those are the criteria that I look
I
for.
love it. I love it. Let's do one last question. Breon asked this question. Breon and I have a special relationship because she likes to come on and ask video questions and then have breakdance competitions
Okay.
against me, where I completely serve her in like every one. She knows this, and everyone in the community knows this. But her question is this. Last question. This is what I want to do. Big question. Marshawn, how do you know if you are walking in your purpose? How do you
Hmm.
know?
What a question. It's interesting. When people actually register for Speak for Pay, I gift them with a complimentary 3-month course called Find Your Voice and Find Your Purpose. And it's um, designed to take you through a process of discovery of figuring out what that is. I
Okay.
think you know it because number one, there is a piece that you have about what you're doing. There's a fulfillment, and it takes a lot of. We have to take off a lot of the junk we've been taught about what it means to be a person, what it means to be successful. We have to strip away to all those things to get really, to me, it comes from getting clear about the voice of God, what God has spoken over your life, of who He has always intended for you to be. And for me, I look at it and I'm like, I was always here to help people when I was a teenager, and even when I was a kid, getting my name on the board in school with all those checks. It's because I was nosy. I was in other people's business, but that's why I make money now. That's why I get paid, and that's why I have fulfillment. Is I'm in people's business. I care about what you have going on. When I was a sports agent, I managed professional athletes in the NFL and NBA and grew that company. I cared about not, I didn't care really about sports. I cared about people. I cared about African American men having what it is that they needed to believe, one, that they could actually be a business, and I had something that I could offer. And so, what I do now in helping life changers and visionaries and entrepreneurs and women and men to figure out what their voice is and turn it into a brand. I was doing that when I was 8 years old. My dad started his first business, and I said, well, why don't we, I branded him at 8 years old. It was always there. And part of the reason that people can't find their purpose is because they can't see their own life. And that's partly why I think you need sometimes someone who specializes in that. So we do that also in prep for Speak for Pay, is we, because I think you should build your business around purpose, because purpose is the most powerful force on the planet. It's designed to prosper you. It's designed to win. You cannot lose in it. But it takes courage to dive in, and a lot of people are afraid to actually figure out who they really are and do what they could possibly do.
Yeah, you know what? You talked about fear being an incredible driver, right? And the antidote to fear is courage. And you, Marshawn Evans, are one of the, and I'm not just saying this, you're one of the most courageous people I know. And I think you are beautiful inside and out. And I thank you very much. And I know everyone else in the Mentor Monday community thanks you. Folks, give it up. Let's say a big thanks to Marshawn. Marshawn, thank you very much. Let's see the ring. Can we see the ring before you go? Can we see that?
Of course.
Woo!
Yay. But look,
So,
look,
so
I really want
on the
to
way out.
get you in front of a, oh, he's got the music.
That's you. That's your walkout music. That's it. That's the time. That's the time. Walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out. All right. Marshawn Evans, everybody. Marshawn. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes another Mentor Monday. That's our 10th session. Quite honestly, one of the best sessions I have seen. That was incredible. Like, we were blessed with like dimes of knowledge. That was incredible. I want to thank everyone for joining. Real quick, remember mastermind groups, right? Mentor Monday Mastermind. If you're interested in participating, let us know on the forums. Secondly, make sure that you join the Blogalicious raffle. That is a great organization. Be sure that you support that. Make sure you thank, right, Michelle Talbert. Make sure that you thank Ella Rucker. Make sure that you thank Mariana. Mariana's on here. They're all folks that support Mentor Monday. Also, Courtney Herring, who's a big support, who works as the managing editor for the paulcbrunson.com site. Make sure that you support her and follow her. You'll see all of her information on the website. And last but not least, we will see you February 10th for yet again another session of Mentor Monday. You guys have a great night. God bless. Good night.